The Tale of the Man Who Smiled, Part 4. Peter turned off the television and looked at the fairy godfather, who was looking very proud of his handiwork. "You're welcome," he said insincerely. At that, he waved his wand and vanished. The following morning, at Peter's local art gallery, a large printed copy of his photograph was framed for guests to view. Needless to say, it did wonders for the gallery's business. They actually had to start turning people away. Then something very curious happened. Peter was at home, eating his breakfast, minding his own business, when his facial expression seemed to change against his will. It was a smile, quite like the one he wore in his photograph. He tried to speak, no such luck. He tried to blink, no such luck. He tried changing his facial expression, no such luck. His face actually frozen. He then started to panic. Well, internally, he lacked the capacity to physically panic, and that was exactly why he was panicking. But now the situation had become even more bizarre. He was no longer in his kitchen. He was at the art gallery. People were smiling at him and taking photographs of him on their phones. They weren't talking to him, though. They merely gazed at him as if he was some sort of property. And then it dawned on him. He was property. He had actually become the photograph. It was a daunting prospect, living the rest of his life as a photograph, not having the power to speak or have any meaningful interaction with another human being, or even have the power to let them know the smile he wore was not reflective of his mood. But wasn't this exactly what he wished for? He didn't want friends. All he wanted from life was to be adored. He wasn't interested in talking to people or interacting with them on any level. He just wanted to be seen and worshipped. That was his wish. The fairy godfather simply made the wish come true. Days went by, and life as a photograph became even more uncomfortable for Peter. It wasn't just physically uncomfortable, being stuck in a picture, not being able to move at all, but it was also mentally draining, having so many people lay their eyes on him for their own entertainment, not taking the time to consider how he felt about it. He wanted so desperately to scream at them and tell them to stop. It was quite ironic, really. After years of posting photographs in an attempt to fool people, he now so desperately wanted to make them see the reality of the situation, that he was not a happy man. And still he smiled. The end.